Okay, so it's really late. It's 4:10 a.m. On like pretty much 24 hours after my last diary entry, and I haven't slept yet. I've just taken a bit of Pro Plus. But I'm just gonna go over the kind of administrative in between visit stuff that's going on. So there haven't been any more visits since, obviously, but there's a lot of stuff to be done in the meantime. So what I did do, we collected in the choice forms, and I typed those all up. I filled in the forms online, so there's a massive spreadsheet now of 84 entries, which is everyone's choice form from every group from every form, and there's that spreadsheet now. Each of the volunteers who went in for visit 2, I believe, is going to email all the groups just confirming their projects and maybe giving them a little bit of help on their projects to begin with. So that's really good. I've emailed my bunch of my form group, all of the individual groups, and I'll give you an example of one of the emails I sent. They're quite long, to be honest. They're sort of introductory emails. This one starts, it's called Welcome to this project, and I say, Dear blah blah and blah blah. This is Taz from your citizenship lesson on Monday. I really enjoyed meeting you all, briefly discussing gender and sexuality with you, and seeing you coming up with great ideas for your mini project. Monday seems to have gone well for all of the Year 12s. There are about 80 different mini projects, including posters, leaflets, fundraising football tournaments, assemblies, etc. The top 10 groups will get more specially awarded, so you technically have a 1 in 8 chance of winning. There are a few things that I need to do in this email. Firstly, I need to check this email as the one which you'd prefer me to be is the one on which you'd prefer me to be contacting you. Is it okay for me to be able to contact you all through this email address? My emails might be really long like this one, so you could forward on all my emails to everyone in the group so everyone can read it through themselves. Secondly, I need to confirm all of your names. Unfortunately, when we typed up all the information from your choice forms, we realised how rubbish at reading handwriting we are. Can you confirm that your full names are blah 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 and blah 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 blah? If I've made a mistake somewhere, then just email me back and correct my spelling. Thirdly, I should remind you of the admin type stuff like deadlines, which you can find here, and also that we can only award you at the end if we have evidence emailed to us of your work. You have told me that you're creating a PowerPoint, so it should be no problem to email it to me when it's completed, so that I can check you off. If it's too big to email, then you'll have to ideally have it near to completion by Monday the 7th of February, because I'll be coming in again and can check over your mini project and confirm that you've done a good job on it. I like that you've clearly concentrated on your interests in music and sport to make your project about famous LGBT people from these industries. It's great that you've told me that you're going to talk about their stories too. That's your original niche. Quite a few people are doing mini projects on LGBT celebrities, but you can make yours stand out by concentrating on maybe one from music and one from sport, and telling your audience a bit more about them. Remember to mention not just gay people, but lesbian, bisexual and transgender people too, if you can. And of course it needs to be positive and encourage younger students to be more tolerant and aware of gender and sexual diversity. As you are doing a PowerPoint, you'll need access to a computer, which you don't have in your own form room. This might mean planning exactly what's going to go on each page or slide during citizenship lessons, and then transferring them onto a computer once you get into the SCR during a lunchtime. To research your mini project, you should use Google and Wikipedia, but also explore the website, because there is loads of stuff, both on pages and in the comments. Anyone can add comments, so if you stumble across something that might be useful research to others, then I encourage you to post it as a comment in the information and resources. You can also get in touch with members of the THiS team for help in your projects or welfare advice if you want to talk to someone about a problem, but not anybody in Hayden. Anywho, I wish you the best of luck. Email me back to confirm your email address, and that I've gotten your names right. Let me know how you're progressing with your mini project, and I'll see you again on the 7th of February. And then I sign off. So that's the email that I've been sending out. That's a template that there are 6 groups in my form, so I've sent out a variation to each of them based on like the topic of the project that they're doing and the specific chats that I had with them during visit 2. One thing maybe to consider for any campaigns in the future is what the school will allow people to do. So one particular drawback with this one at Hayden was that bake sales aren't allowed because students aren't allowed to cook food on their own and then sell it if something against the insurance policy. So I'm thinking that that might crop up again with using certain spaces. You'd need to check with the school what students are actually allowed to do. And one other problem that came up was the problem of duplicates. So because we were all in different forms, teaching the same lesson at the same time, but in different areas, and we had no contact with each other, we didn't know whether there were students in our form who were doing the exact same project as a student in another form. And for some projects that's okay. For instance, if it's a leaflet on how to cope with homophobic bullying, then I think that that's okay. To a certain extent, the more the merrier, although at some point it will get not very useful anymore. But for example, we've got 3 different groups who are organising to do 5-a-side football tournaments, and that will all be within a month to fundraise for an LGBT charity. And that's not going to work out logistically. Like, as much as they physically can go out and arrange them, they're not really going to get all the teams they want if they're all doing a tournament each. I think interest will fizzle out after the first tournament. So we need to think of ways to get people to be able to liaise about what they're doing in some way. I don't know how this can be done, but how we've done it this time around is I've checked over all of people's choice forms after visit 2, looked for duplicates, and now we found certain duplicates or certain projects that are unfeasible. We're going to think of ways to slightly alter the projects, but still going along with the same kind of interest expressed by the group at the beginning, and the volunteer that was in on that form is going to email the group, giving them, telling them about the slight tricky situation, and emailing them a sort of resolution to it, what they could do instead. And since we're doing this quite soon after, like a couple of days after they've chosen their thing and they haven't really got started on their mini projects, hopefully we've saved them in time, so they can slightly alter their mini projects without that much hassle. That's the strategy that I've gone for this time around. Maybe there's a better strategy to be had next time around. So I thought I'd document that little thing. Also, what else can I say? So I've been talking to Chris Telford, who's the head of psychology at Hayden, and who's involved in all the anti-homophobia stuff there, saying that we should do things like getting national press involved, and getting maybe someone from Stonewall at the awards assembly, so basically things to raise the profile of this project. And I think that's a really good idea, so I'll look into that and see if any of that is feasible. So far we've got 2 comedians, like famous comedians, saying that they'll record videos to be shown at the awards assembly, congratulating the kids on their achievements. So that's really, really good, and I think the more we can up the game, the better. But that's what's been done so far. I thought I'd document that before I forget the little intricacies of what's happened. I'm going to go and get some sleep now.